All the time we spent, wonder where it went. Why must time move on? Why must we grow apart?
Be like, welcome to the Final Picture Show podcast. We are here tonight to talk about Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Not the first movie with Escape from that we have talked about so far, and not the last.
Oh no,
we already did Escape from L.A. and eventually we'll do Escape from New York, and there's probably more that we don't. I'm not even thinking.
There could be.
So yeah, this came out in 1971, and before we get started, any sign of the apocalypse you got this week for us?
Oh God,
Anything that's itching on your anything that maybe you've been walking around recently and you saw someone homeless and just thought to yourself, that's a problem to me. He should be arrested.
There's pores around here, and I need to get rid of. I don't know why Hillbilly Voice is the one I'm doing.
I think it's funny because at some point we will crisscross with South Park tonight, so that'll be fun. The most recent season of South Park has been phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not recording it, I would record it just in case this is the last season we get of South Park.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because these last two episodes have been absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best political critiques that only they could do. And
absolutely.
I would be lying if I said I was kind of a lapsed fan. I hadn't watched in a couple of years.
It's been at least 10 years for me.
Yeah,
I think maybe even 15
used to be
years.
Regular watcher. In college, it was every single week. Me and my college roommates, Philip and Jack, who may be listening, I'm not sure.
Hey.
They show up on an episode one day. You know both of those guys.
I know, well, I think I know Jack
You've
for
heard
sure,
of
but...
Philip. You've heard the stories of Philip. I don't
I've
know if you
heard
actually
stories.
met Philip. Yes.
Not actually, but
That's true. Well,
I know stories.
You've heard the stories. Both of them and I, we used to, when South Park came on, we would like legitimately stop what we were doing and go to our separate dorm rooms to watch it, and then come back into the middle room, which was like our living room area, to then discuss what we would then watch. We were very nerdy, very, very nerdy. This was my college experience. Whenever I tell people I had a lot of fun in college, it was a lot of that and a lot of drinking beer, smoking weed, playing Risk, and modifying the rules of Monopoly heavily to make it more fun. So, that was a fun time.
And of course, my intro to South Park.
Yeah, I guess the apocalypse of South Park.
You're right, maybe. Well, I was going to say there's a lot of dumb things going on.
That's true.
I mean, there's a new bill getting thrown in there to be looked at to make porn federally illegal.
Yeah, all porn, no more.
All porn.
Can't have none of that.
Ironically, coming from this group of people, if you dig what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I believe you once said a couple episodes ago, every accusation is an admission.
Absolutely.
There you go.
100%. And I stand by that.
Yeah. Sorry once again if you hear the dogs barking. Our little one Nellie, she's going through her terrible twos as a dog, so to say, and she's learning, but it's being a little bit of a struggle. So.
Hey, don't forget what St. Vincent told us.
What's that? The
dogs will bark, so let them bark.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say she's the baddest motherfucker in New York. All right.
Oh, I like that too.
I love me some St. Vincent. Hell of a guitar player. Yeah. Speaking of hell of a guitar player, let's talk about this movie. This movie doesn't have anything to do with St. Vincent. Although maybe she likes it. Maybe. Okay, Planet of the Apes, 1971, this one. So just 1 year later from where we were last time in the podcast. And like we said, where we ended the last one, the last movie ends with them blowing everything the fuck up. So it's like, how do you sequelize that? 2 words. As our friend Dominic said, time travel. And yes, that is the plot here. That is the device that we are using. And the script actually was enticing enough to get a few of the people to come back that were like, oh, actually, the script's kind of cool. And we're going to meet some new folks that we're going to talk about a bit more. So let's get into the director. Don Taylor, his career kind of fell apart after the 1980s. But before that, he had done quite a few things in the 60s and 70s, including Final Countdown, Omen 2, The Island of Dr. Moreau, the original one, not the Val Kilmer one.
Oh, yeah.
2 episodes of The Night Gallery, which was one of the many, many TV shows he did, including Flying Nun, which is I know you love, and It Takes a Thief. He was also an actor, appearing in such classics as Love Slaves of the Amazon, Japanese War Brides, Song of the Thin Man, and the original Father of the Bride movie. There you go.
Oh,
so quite an eclectic man, and a lot of the actors did say they really enjoyed working with Don Taylor. He has a lot of people throughout his career said he was a nice man. He was good to work with. Like everyone was really like he was a cool dude. Like easy to work with, got along with everybody. Didn't demand too much of you. Didn't treat you like shit. Was very respectful. So cool.
I think that's what I've heard about like directors that kind of started out acting or acted in their career. They are much more gracious directors.
That makes sense.
So
they've seen the other side enough to be like, here's what I would do, and now that I've been given the power, I'm going to do that. And it's going to make sense.
Yeah.
The writer is the same as last time. The producer is the same as the last two times before that, so we're not going to talk about them. Let's just jump into the cast here. Roddy is back, was not in the second one, was in the first one, and is back now, and kind of, I guess, takes over as the lead for the rest of these, pretty much. Basically the leading star, pretty much.
Yep.
Kim Hunter is also back, and this will be the last one that she actually appears in formally. The other two that she appears in are going to be via stock footage. Yeah. So this is her last actual real life appearance. Everything else is just use footage from the other films,
right?
Which makes sense. And she was the one who, if we go back to the very beginning, shameless plug of our podcast when we talked about Planet of the Apes, she was popping a Valium a day just to get by with the anxiety of dealing with all of this.
I think I actually read a little bit. This is outside me, but I've got all this extra time now. I read where she was saying that originally in the first movie it took her like 4.5 hours to do makeup. By this movie they shaved off another hour off of that.
Nice. So only 3 hours a day, and still probably drinking through a straw. And at least by this point, they had started filming in the winter. So they filmed this November to January. So the weather was much, much better. So that's better. But that didn't mean that everyone had a great experience, because a couple people had some bad times here.
Well, and even her, she said the makeup was like latex, so it didn't have a lot of like insulating properties. So there's parts where she seems puffier. That's because there's like padding to keep her warm. I was going to say, the budget here does go down quite a bit from even the second one, from the first one. If the first one was the big budget of these ones, you can kind of see the budget here. So now most of the apes, a lot of the apes, especially the ones in the background, they are not in costume. They are in masks. And you can kind of tell at times if you stop and look, especially if you're watching a Blu-ray copy of this like I am, you can kind of tell the ones that look like, hey, that looks like a mask, that looks like makeup. And that'll only go on from here. Like, it doesn't get as bad of Time of the Apes, shameless plug, but it does get pretty noticeable at times. Here's the rest of the cast. We got Bradford Dillman, who plays Dr. Dixon. He is connected to another episode that we talked about. Speaking of shameless plugs, he was in The Swarm. We talked about that when we were doing our bad movies. And that one was a bad one. We watched the damn near 3-hour cut of that one. And I was going to say, I'm getting distance from it, and I'm kind of like, why did we not like that? Then when you say 3 hours, I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, 3 hours of just boring shit.
Oh, God. I'm like...
Yeah. You could edit The Swarm into something a little bit more cheesy and fun, but they did not.
I think it could have been.
Also, he worked for 50 years, so he was in a bunch of stuff. He was also in Piranha, Murder, She Wrote, bunch of stuff. Next up is Natalie Trudy, who was playing Dr. Burton. She would actually continue in the other movies in a different role. She would play Lisa in the other movies. She was actually in the second one as well, but in a different role there as well. So
nice.
Frequently was in most of these movies, but played different roles throughout them.
Yeah, because I think she's in 4 out of 5. She just wasn't in the first one.
Yeah, she's not in the first one, but she's in the rest of them and plays different roles in most of them, with the exception of, I think, the last 2 or 3 where she plays Lisa.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Next up, we have Eric Braddon, who has been in tons of things. He was in 4,000 episodes of Young and the Restless, so there you go.
Yeah.
Titanic also was in Piranha, and it was in $6 Million Man and many more things.
Yeah, no, I recognize him from Young and the Restless. My strangely enough, my dad is a big Young and the Restless fan.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. See, my family was not Young and Restless. We were Dark Shadows when I was younger. And then when I got older, it was All My Children. I've watched so many episodes of All My Children with my mother. Yeah. When I was in high school, I'd come home, and that's what my mom would be doing, was watching All My Children. The joke in our family was she spent more time watching All My Children than she did watching All Her Children.
All Her Children?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. She watched it religiously every single day. It's crazy how soap operas work, how like every day they're doing it. It's like it's like stage acting ranked up a little bit, or maybe ranked down a little bit, because I don't know. I've seen some really silly soaps, but they're always fun. I like soaps.
Yeah, I like soaps.
I don't take them seriously, but they're
I think
a fun
Dom's
time.
not the biggest fan, but
I don't know. He's not here this week.
He's not here. But I was going to say, Eric Braeden, also know, if you're from Young and the Restless, if y'all are fans out there, Victor, or the Mustache, as Jack calls him. Sorry,
The Mustache.
not our friend Jack, but another character on Young and the Restless. Good Lord.
William Wyndham is here playing the president, joining the ranks of many presidents that we've talked about in our podcasts. He will one day be ranked amongst the many presidents.
I was going to say, one of these days we're going to have a ranking of
a ranking of sci-fi movie presidents, and just be like, all right, let's get into it. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I mean, maybe something to do soon. Yeah, there you go. We got some bonus episodes coming up.
Hey,
there you go. Low blow. All right. William here was
low-hanging fruit.
William here was in Uncle Buck, was in To Kill a Mockingbird, and tons and tons of other things. The list goes on and on. A prolific actor. Children of the Corn 6. There's a fun one.
Whoa.
Next up is Milo, played here by Sal Lumino, who was a 2-time Oscar nominee and tragically killed, shot down when he was 37 years old by a 17-year-old kid who didn't even know who he was. He was just trying to rob him for some money so he could, I think, get some drugs or some booze. I'm not sure what the story was, but something like that.
And he was going places too.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, his list of movies. His list of movies in the 50s and going into the 60s was Exodus, Giant, Rebel Without a Cause. Those three alone were like, that's a pretty good career. That's kind of on the tail end now. And the only reason he did these movies is because he talked to Roddy McDowall, apparently. This is some behind the scenes. So he wanted to kind of rejuvenate his career and relaunch it into a different direction now that he was getting older.
Yeah.
And so he talked to Roddy McDowall, and he was like, hey, can you give me an ape movie? And he was like, yeah, I can get you an ape movie. And so they got him into the ape movies thinking that would kind of rejuvenate his career. Unfortunately, this would be the last movie he would ever do. He would do some TV shows after this, but this was his last movie before he was killed. So career did not, unfortunately, reach that peak again, but he is very well remembered now for both his life story, the rumors of his sexuality, and like his short career, just like James Dean, like you said, like both of them.
Oh yeah,
and Natalie Wood too. All three of them.
Yeah,
the like very interesting short careers that had a lot of interesting things happen. So
yeah, absolutely.
We're looking at his last film here tonight. Here's some other people in this movie, because we don't have time to talk about all of them. But here's some fun ones that I did not know were in it. Ray Glenn, Norman Burton, Peter Forrester, Emmett Walsh, who unfortunately just passed.
He did. I love Emmett Walsh.
He's great. He's a great actor. Speaking of underrated movies, he's in Sundown, Vampires in Retreat, with Bruce Campbell and David Carradine. That movie is hysterical. And Emmett Walsh is one of, I think maybe I would say the third or fourth most important character in that movie.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good. He's also in me and my wife's favorite Christmas movie, which is Christmas with the Cranks.
Awesome.
We watch it every single year, and he plays the cranky neighbor who calls Tim Allen's character old man every single time, even though Tim Allen is much younger than him. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So I always copy that as well. So I love me some.
There's a thing. One of his characters he plays in. I don't know if do you remember the movie Camp Nowhere?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. He plays that I don't know, some kind of a like collections agent. I don't know what he is, but his name is like TR Polk or whatever. And I was like, my first two initials are TR. I'm kind of thinking about going by that, just based on that character.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, the last person in the cast that we'll talk about, and this is going to be a swerve and park the car moment. We'll talk about him again next week because he does show up again. But Ricardo Montalban, this is his first appearance in the Apes movies. And, of course, he's been in tons of things, classics such as Cannonball Run 2.
Good start.
Yeah. The most recent connection to South Park is the most recent episode of South Park. Donald Trump's likeness is placed in basically a juxtaposed against Fantasy Island, if you're familiar with the TV show. And so Donald Trump is basically playing Ricardo Montalban's character here in this Fantasy Island version, which is basically Epstein's Island, allegedly.
Well, I was going to say, allegedly, he's not too, unfamiliar with islands. So, it fits.
Spend some time. Last thing that we'll talk about, which is going to be our swerve and park the car moment, is Ricardo Montalban, of course, plays Khan in Star Trek 2. Which brings me to the question. We've been talking about sci-fi movies for a while now. Most of the movies that we talk about are either sci-fi or dystopian, or very few of them have been comedies. And even the comedies, there's usually some kind of sci-fi element. Now, this later on in the podcast, when we get to Seeking a Friend for the End of the World and stuff like that, we'll move out of the realm of sci-fi necessarily. But while we're here talking about sci-fi, and while we've talked about Ricardo Montalban, it made me think of a question. So here's my question for you, and I want your answer. It's going to be whatever initially comes into your mind, right? So just think about it for just a minute, and then just give me your answer. Which movie is better? You can only have one. Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, or Star Wars Episode 5?
Oh.
Empire Strikes Back, for those of you that don't know. The second movie chronologically in the Star Wars series.
God, I actually...
Fifth in the actual series.
I mean, I gotta go Empire. I mean...
You're gonna go Empire. See...
I gotta.
I watched... I love the Star Wars movies, and I love Episode 5, but, man, recently I've been watching a lot of the Star Trek movies. I'm not sure why. I picked up a lot of them on DVD recently, and part of me really... Episode 2 is really, really fun.
Oh, no, yeah. I will tell you, okay... And this is a great thing about the Star Trek movies, because I haven't watched any of the series. I've only watched the movies.
Interesting.
But I'm not a TV guy that much.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
not entirely, but I'm more of a movies guy. Even though I haven't seen that many movies. But what are they? Isn't this a thing that they say, like the odd number movies are the bad ones? But then, like, the even number movies are the good ones. So, like, 2,
for Star
4,
Trek?
and 6, yeah.
Supposedly, I guess it depends on your definition, because like that kind of holds true for the originals. But when you get into the new generation, that math kind of doesn't math anymore.
Oh no, yeah, no. I
and then
think you
get into the Abrams universe with those 3, and then that third movie was pretty tough. Yeah, the only thing I ever remember the third movie was the Beastie Boys blaring out of the I guess the boom box of the Enterprise.
I guess so. Now I will be honest, I like Beastie Boys a lot, so I give that a pass. But it was
that broke me out of the narrative real fast. I watched that in the theater, and that was an eye roll moment for me, where I was like, "Fuck you, come on, that's dumb." I was like, that's some dumb shit right there.
Well, it was a callback to the first one, but
yeah.
It was shameless. Like,
yeah. No, I get it. I didn't. I wasn't
that's the part of the
I don't understand it. It's more of a thing where it's just like, that's just stupid to me.
Oh, that was part of the big eye roll. It was like, okay, the first one was a major hit. Quit trying to,
I mean, we can also belabor the point that the Abrams Star Trek movies are basically just Star Wars movies, because they're not really Star Trek movies. But
100%.
Speaking of not really Star Trek movies, let's get into the background of this movie. So, like you said, the makeup now only takes 3 hours. Yeah. A lot of the script that they had written here, which is what drove a lot of the people to re-sign, is because after the first one was a success, they were like, okay, we got to make a second one. And then they didn't really expect the second one to be as big of a success as it was, and it turned a pretty good profit. So they were like, well, shit, now we got to make a third one. And so when they made a third one, this is them kind of going into a completely different direction, because the second movie, like we talked about, is kind of largely just a retread of the first movie, just with a new astronaut, and, you know, it's kind of the same thing. In a way, you could say it's almost a continuation of what we would see in the Tim Burton movies. Like, all three of those movies are just kind of like a retelling of the same general story.
Oh, absolutely.
Here is where we get thrown a curveball, because now we get time travel, motherfucker. Right? We're getting some interesting shit getting here. And this is where, like I said in the last podcast, shameless plug, that the first movie is not really my favorite, and the second movie is not really my favorite. Here's where we start getting into some of my favorites. 3 and 4 are some of my favorites. Like these two, I really, really like. And I'm not the only one. Do you know who other sentences is hard? Do you know which other famous people think this movie is their favorite?
Oh, I'm curious.
Well, we've talked about him once before. We'll talk about him inevitably again, I'm sure. He's a man who's big fan of comic books. He's from the Northeast. Loves hockey. Loves podcasting. Loves weed.
Oh, loves talking.
Loves talking. Yes. Used to love eating. Became a vegan. I guess still loves eating. I don't know.
I guess. Well, he does a lot of fasting, though.
That's true. He does a lot of walking. Now, we're talking about Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith, this is his favorite of the Apes movies. So there you go.
Far out.
Now, this is not my favorite. The next one is my favorite. But this one is one of my favorites.
The first one's always going to be my favorite.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's okay. You're a basic bitch. You're a basic bitch.
I'm a basic bitch. What can you do?
Speaking of the makeup and Kim Hunter, she actually kind of helped Salmino through this, because he had extreme claustrophobia. And that triggered extreme panic and anxiety attacks.
Totally get
throughout the course of the filming of this movie. So he kind of relied on his relationship with Kim Hunter to help him through that, because she was kind of like, I've been there, you know, like we've talked about. She was popping Valiums just to get through the day because of all the shit she had to go through. So she understood, especially in this movie, because this one, there's really only there's not many people in ape outfits or ape costumes here.
That's right.
Like, there's very, very minimal of them. So, here, it kind of, inverts the story from the first one in a way.
It does.
Instead of
I like that.
Humans landing on Earth, the apes land somewhere, and they have to kind of, go through the experiences.
This is it's like a retread of the Fish Out of Water story, but just reversed, and I love it.
Yeah. It basically, honestly, you can kind of see the through lines of okay, the first one was successful. Let's double down and do the same thing again. Heston doesn't want to. Shit, hire someone that looks just like him. All right, cool. What's the story? I don't know. Fuck it. Have them blow it up. Who cares? Right? It's probably not going to make any more money, but hey, they're done. Oh shit, it made money. All right. How are we going to continue this series now that this is making money? All right, time travel. Okay, so now, what do we do now that we're sending the apes somewhere? Oh, I know. We just redo the story, but now we flip it.
Yeah.
There you go. Fucking genius. This is how Hollywood used to work, right? That person would have become a millionaire right then. No, not anymore. So the film is set in 1973 in New York City, which is interesting because it would actually premiere on TV in November 16th on 1973. So didn't take too long for that one to get there. This is the only movie, speaking of sequels, this is the only one that actually intentionally sets up a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them, they do not do that. They can be left open-ended like the first one. Okay, what happens next with Heston or Taylor and Nova? The question still lingers. But you don't need a sequel. There's no what happens next with this kind of conflict situation being left up. But
right.
It is what it is. Movie.
I guess by this point they figured it out. Okay.
Yeah, at this point it kind of becomes I think that this one and the next one, like I said, are the ones where I think you really can kind of see all right, this is made enough money now that we can kind of safely put it out, and you can just kind of do whatever. Yeah. And it'll probably make a turn of profit, and it did.
Oh, yeah.
So, they can kind of have a little bit of free reign to have some fun. And I think that you see a little bit of that in this one and the next one especially. The next one especially, I think you see a lot of the fun. And the next one basically kind of sets up the current series too, because it kind of
absolutely.
like sets up the whole idea of Caesar and kind of, yeah. We'll get to that one next week.
Yeah.
All right, so the budget here was $2.5 million, and it made $12 million, and of course opened at number one.
Nice.
Was only number one for 1 week, but still, like every single Planet of the Apes movie, at least the originals, it opened at number one. So once again, made its money back, and then some. $2.5 million budget, and it made $12 million. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it debuted into the world on May 26, 1971. In just a minute, we're going to pause and come back to talk about the plot of this movie. But before we do that, it's time for our always famous Travis trivia.
Hey.
May 26, 1971. Here we go. 1970s, early 70s. All right, so we're going to go to a lot of different places here.
Yeah, I think we are.
Did you ever see Saving Silverman?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the musician that he's obsessed with?
Oh, God. Oh. No, I do not remember that.
All right. Well,
and when we say he, we're talking about the main character, Jason Biggs?
Yeah, Jason Biggs' character. Yeah, there's a certain musician that him and his two friends, Jack Black and Steve Zahn, are obsessed with. He is that musician is here at number 5.
Oh, man. Oh,
very popular man in the 70s.
This is driving me crazy.
I guess you would call him yacht rock these days. It's kind of like 70s pop.
Oh, that's right. It was Neil Diamond.
Yeah, it's Neil Diamond indeed. This is I Am, I Said by Neil Diamond.
Oh, I like that song.
Not a bad song at all. Number 4 is a classic. It's, God, man. He wrote a lot of classics.
Yeah?
A lot of classics. A lot of 70s soul music. Maybe music you put on when you want to get in a certain kind of mood.
Oh, okay. Are we going to Al Green or
a little different? Keep going. Dig a little deeper.
Okay. Well, how much deeper? Like Barry White deeper?
No, a little bit more.
Not that deep.
You'll find him.
I'll find him. I'll get there. God, oh no, I'm losing it.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye. Oh man.
Yeah. Marvin Gaye.
I blinded myself on that one.
That's all right. It happens. Number 3 is a pretty classic song by a pop group that would lead to the King of Pop coming out a couple years after this.
The Jackson 5.
Jackson 5, Say Goodbye.
I think I know that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Number 2 is the only one that I had never heard of before. I had to go listen to it today, and I will say I really enjoyed this song. I can't give you any hints, but I will definitely say to check it out. It's a good one. I recommend it. The song is Put Your Hand in the Hand by Ocean.
I think I know that song.
Ocean. It's a very, very cool song. I liked it. Number 1 is, I'm just going to do word association. This one worked a couple times ago, so we'll try it again here. Let me see here. I'm trying to think of how I can describe it. Did I lose you? No, okay, there, I'm back. Okay. Well, his friend is a bullfrog, but it doesn't really bother him. He's going to drink all of his wine, though.
Oh, man. That's, oh, God. Why is Three Dog Night? Is that...
Three Dog Night, yeah. Three Dog Night, yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember the name of the song?
Why does that feel wrong? Yeah.
Three Dog Night with Joy to the World.
Very cool song.
Yeah, a song that my dad used to play all the time whenever we were driving as a kid. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I'm like, yeah, he was.
Yep.
But he was a good friend of mine. You're going to drink his wine. All right, well, we're going to go get some wine and then come back and talk about the plot of Apes 3 in just a minute. So, Travis, do you know what our podcast has in common with the famous rapper Ice Cube?
I was going to say we both star in Are We There Yet? No, that's not.
That's true. Yes, we've sold out to Amazon. Exactly. Yes,
oh, wait,
just
really?
like yeah. Just like War of the Worlds has Ice Cube repeatedly making advertisements to Amazon, which will be prime for a future review. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but my God, is it screaming our names? But our podcast is now available on Amazon Music. So if previously you were listening to it on the other services and you are one of the many people that apparently loves Amazon Music, I don't know why. Hey, you can now listen to us on there. It was as easy as pressing a button, so I pressed that button, and Jeff Bezos is now, I guess, has my soul. I don't know. I don't know how that works out.
We didn't even have to go to Whole Foods for him to get it.
Yeah, Yeah.
I've never
got cheap. Got cheap and easy. That's how Jeff Bezos likes his dates. Anyway, you have your dice, and go ahead and give it a roll.
All right, here we go. It is 23.
23. All right, so for episode 60, we will be watching a classic of the blaxploitation genre, Shaft's Big Score. From 1972. This came out. And what month did this one come out? What year? We are in June of 1972. Where we go. Once again, cannot get away from that month or that time. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Awesome.
There we go. Yeah. There you go. So we'll be back next week to do something completely different as we are visited by Gordon Parks and learn about Isaac Hayes and Shaft. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. And we'll see that next week. See you then. Some of the other movies. Well, I guess similarly, they all kind of start in like the oceanish area with a discovery.
Yeah.
This one also starts in the ocean with a discovery.
It does. And I like that this is a departure from the last sequel where we get part of the first movie in the second one to start it off. This one, we just jump straight in. I liked it.
Yeah. And tonally, this movie stands alone. This movie I could have this is why they should never let me in a writer's room, because I would have taken this movie in a lot of different places. I would have been the dissenting voice in the room that's like, what if we did All in the Family with apes?
Oh.
We'll get there. Anyway, so obviously the apes show up. They're ape-stronauts.
Apes-stronauts.
Yeah, so this vessel has crash landed on Earth, and all these military people show up, and I almost said War of the Worlds. That's an episode for a different day. Very day the Earth stood still.
It's swirling us.
Ice Cube is there. Very much day the Earth stood still. Kind of referencing some of our other stuff that we've talked about. There you go. Where like all the military shows up to kind of witness this discovery, which is when they take their masks off. Oh, they're apes,
Yep.
I guess the third or fourth big reveal of this series now, with Charlton Heston seeing the Statue of Liberty. That was the big reveal. The apes, another big reveal in that movie.
Yeah,
who's kind of behind all this evilness. And then in the second one, the big reveals, I suppose, are the guys taking their face off, and then the discovery of the atom bomb as being like the thing that they worship, kind of like
guys taking their face off. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. Another thing we'll have to get to at some point. Got to.
Eventually, I think.
Eventually, we'll get there. Eventually. So they take their helmets off, and we start the movie with a lot of looks of confusion and horror as the apes are revealed. This movie is very 70s. Like the first two movies.
Oh.
Well, the first movie was 68. The second movie was 70. And now here we are in... and then the third one was 71, I think. Or I may be off.
Yeah,
something.
it's 71.
Yeah, 71. This is very firmly it looks like the 70s now. This looks like a 70s movie.
It's time.
Yeah. Especially the introduction with the apes getting transported to the zoo and all the credits over that, which, by the way, we talk about font styles going back to the Left Behind.
Oh, yeah.
The font style here is famous as shit, and I love the Planet of the Apes font style.
Yes.
I don't know what it's called, but I think that font style is terrific.
Oh, yeah.
If I could replicate that for our podcast, hey, that might be a future logo design. Take that, there you go. Something like that. Anyway, So everyone starts showing up, and there's a lot of monkeying about that occurs as the zoo is now kind of offered as a refuge for the apes, and they're offered fruit, which is kind of funny.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's when we get old Emmett Walsh, where he's walking. He's just kind of an officer, I guess. Yeah, and he, vaguely military officer. And he's just like talking to the officer in charge, and he's just carrying this bag of oranges. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I just kind of want to do that. I just want to walk next to someone talking to him carrying a bag of oranges. I think that'd be great.
Have I got a job for you? In this economy, that's not bad work,
right?
So, yeah, this part's kind of funny, and then I like that they agree initially that they shouldn't talk, because they're, Cornelius and Dr. Milo, who saw Mino, is only here for the very brief beginning, and then fortunately, we don't see him ever again in this series. Yeah. Or, like I said, this would be his last movie.
Yeah.
They are coming to the conclusion that they have somehow gone back in time. Time travel. 2 words, time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of time, see our last episode, Time of the Apes. And so they've time traveled here now.
To the time of the humans.
To the time of the humans, yes. Yes, indeed. And at this time, apes cannot speak, so they all agree, like, ixnay on the speak a,
Yeah.
And so they go, I'm using Carney talk. We'll find out why later. Anyway, so they all agree to ixnay on the speak a, which is also Offspring's unreleased 4th album. There you go. More stupid jokes for no one in particular. Our kind of like inverted doctors of Cornelius and Zira, they show up, and it's basically like, what if the plot from the first one was flipped? Yep. Thankfully, they only do that for so long, and then they kind of come up with like their own unique story here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, well, not really a lot of, just sort of, like you said, it starts.
Yeah. The start is very much like, okay, so Heston was put into a like holding facility and doesn't speak. They are also put in a holding facility and don't speak.
Yep.
He goes to the court. They're going to have a courtroom scene.
Yep.
And then from there, it kind of just differs a little bit until you get to the end, where you get the kind of the shootout, which kind of has some parallels to the first one as well.
It does.
I mean, like all the Planet of the Apes movies, largely, even the new ones, they largely borrow ideas from themselves, which is kind of interesting. Like the second one borrows heavily from the first one. The third one here, this one borrows heavily from the second and the first one.
Oh, yeah.
The next one's going to borrow heavily, and then he just kind of continues from there. So, yeah, we get a lot of parallels when the doctors show up, and then they do the test scenes with Zira are very funny.
Oh,
where they're testing to see her intelligence, and she's like going through very quickly, and then they have the banana hanging, and she climbs up to get it, and they're like, why will she eat the banana? And she just decides to finally speak. And she's like, because I find them repulsive. It's like,
yeah. Well, that's, what's funny about that? Because, again, I've got all this time on my hands. I looked it up. Apparently, Kim Hunter, because they were wearing this ape makeup and everything all the time, that crew members and, just kind of other people would kind of tease them a lot.
Oh, by giving them bananas?
And offer them bananas. She genuinely does not like bananas. So this was kind of that was like a thing for that. Like they kind of wrote that in.
I would love, but I like, as you know, in real life, I have a banana tattoo on my kneecap.
Oh yeah,
I love bananas.
Bananas are good.
I love me some bananas. There you go. Banana industry. If you need a spokesperson, come our way.
You'll be the first Chiquita boy.
That's true. We can write you a song. Well, It'll be the first song since Harry Belafonte. What is it? Yeah. The first song since Harry Belafonte to specifically about the banana industry, except ours won't be a vague critique of capitalism like his was.
No.
There you go. Well, anyway, back to the movie here, because 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot high. Come on, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
I like that it's bananas that took us off this time.
It's bananas always send us into bananas always equal Harry Belafonte, which, of course, as we know, zigzags, crisscrosses to either Batman 66 or Highlander.
Or Highlanders.
One of those two things. He was definitely involved in at some point. We'll find a connection.
Oh, I'm sure it would be easy, actually.
So,
in fact, it's incredibly easy. Harry Belafonte for Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was Batman. Batman.
Oh,
66.
there you go. Done. Check. Done in the mail. Thank you. Yeah, that was easy. That was nice. In real time, you made that 6 degrees connection in 2 degrees, 3 degrees, whatever it was.
Right. Like.
Fun times. Well, speaking of degrees of connection, Saul Mino is about to say, well, he's going to die. He's about to die.
Yeah, and because, again, a parallel to the first, they caged up Heston with the primitive humans, and they were caged up with this. I don't know. Did they say it was like a depressed gorilla or something? I
don't know. The gorilla is very it's the worst gorilla outfit. It's up there with from fucking that Eddie Murphy movie with Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Trading
Places. Yeah, the monkey outfit at the end of that movie. It's about on par with that. It's pretty bad.
Worn by Jim Belushi, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I love Trading Places. That movie has one of my favorite comedic scenes of any movie ever.
Such a great movie.
Whenever he's on the phone later on at the end of the movie, and not Eddie Murphy, but the guy that's after them.
Yeah.
And he is just on the phone and reporting in, and I don't even know if it was scripted. Just a person is outside the phone booth waiting to talk, and he's just it makes me laugh every single time just thinking about it. The actor just stops, looks outside, and goes, "Fuck off," and then goes back to the conversation. I don't know why that kills me, but that's just some great business. If that was not scripted, that is just perfect, comedic business of I got to add something funny to this scene, and it's just going to be telling this person to fuck off.
That's so good.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite comedic movies of all time. I love Trading Places.
Hell yes. God, you remember when we liked comedy? Do they still make comedy movies? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, Happy Gilmore 2 came out. That was an abortion.
I'm not gonna. No. I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually.
No,
but
it's not very good. You're not missing. You're not missing anything. It was maybe one of the worst movies to come out in a long time.
Oh God. See, that's.
I'm not even a big Adam Sandler fan, but that one was. I did love peak Adam Sandler is kind of hard to fight against, and that was hopefully he doesn't go back to the well with Wedding Singer and try to fuck that up or something.
Oh, I feel it.
It's a coming. So yeah, things end horribly for Milo, our boy. Sal Mino is unfortunately killed. He will be resurrected in name later, although that name will then change in the next movie. So, well, fuck that.
Oh man,
there's a lot about this movie whenever Cornelius talks about the lineage of apes and how all of that gets retconned in the next movie.
That's so wild.
It continues the Planet of the Apes tradition of having to fix the problems of the previous movie. That's another trend that these movies have in common.
Oh yeah.
So things end horribly for Milo, but the White House is informed, and we get to meet our president in this film, who is doing kind of his best JFK. It's kind of laying it on thick with the JFK, which, for the presidents we've seen, is not the worst, honestly.
I was about to say, this is...
he doesn't, immediately agree with the overzealous, department head of his to just basically kill the apes. He kind of is
he's
beloved. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, and I think it's later on, but it is later on, but he even says the line, this is, and this is something for me and the European Union or whatever, and or the UN, and he's and not particularly in that order. And it's all right, making it. He's a president that doesn't make everything about himself. That's something. A non-narcissistic president. What's
something
that
for 2025? So we get our inverted kangaroo court scene where the apes are on trial with the all-human Congress committee thing, whatever you want to call it, and it's very similar to the original one, with the change that Heston is hated in that scene.
Oh yes.
Whereas here, the people that are there love them. They are clapping and cheering and are thinking their jokes are funny.
Absolutely, they're these are the most charming
Yeah.
beings, I guess, like these folks have seen.
The tone here we get goes from like her horror of like what have we found from the cosmos to like, oh my god, we love these people. It's almost like an early Alf, right? And this is where if I was in the writing room, I would have taken this movie in a completely different direction, because I would have been like, okay, we do 70s sitcom but with apes.
Oh man,
there you go. There
I
you
could
go.
see it. They have like a human neighbor that just keeps coming in.
Yeah, they have a human nosy neighbor who keeps coming over inexplicably. He just walks in. We don't know why.
Yeah, he's just, he's one of those neighbors that's like no boundaries, like those sitcom neighbors that just walk in.
We cast a young Burt Reynolds. There we go. Loop it back. We almost had him in the second one. Here he is.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Does he have an ape as a friend? We don't know. Maybe. We'll see how it goes.
Ooh.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah. He's got, it's like a BJ and the Bear situation coming back to, like, Cannonball Run 2. We've got an orangutan in there, and it's just... And they keep trying to talk to it, and it's still just a primitive ape, so...
So, eventually, the apes would have a TV show, both a cartoon and a live action. Unfortunately, neither of those went in that direction. But, hey, 20th Century Fox, if you're listening... let me know. I can get you a 70s sitcom starring apes. There you go. So Zira and Cornelius spill the beans about what happened to Taylor and Earth, so that they kind of let people know. Well, they let the two scientists that they're kind of friendly with. At least they let them know initially. Now later on in the movie, this kind of becomes
and then
an issue.
We have Doctor, and I don't remember his name in the movie, so I'm just going to call him Victor from Young and the Restless. Victor Newman.
Yeah.
The scene where he is on the news and he's talking to the news anchor
when he's explaining time travel.
Yes,
the post-structuralist example of the painting itself.
Which, by the way, that's a great scene.
It's a good example. Great explanation. It's a decent example of time travel. Yeah.
It is so cool.
He begins that explanation, though, saying that time is a godlike gift. And it's like, motherfucker, humans invented time. God had nothing to do with time. God doesn't... why would God care about time?
You're right. Well, yeah, no, God can't.
Why would that matter to them? Or to them, specifically them, whoever they are. Whatever being controls things, if they exist. Or beings, Why would time be of matter to that person?
Yeah, really. Wouldn't
personage creation?
Would they even register? I don't know. That's too big a question.
Time is
a
human thing. Like, we invented it to explain the unexplainable, which is that the passage of things. Things obviously change, but the intervals of time to the minutia of minutes and seconds and intervals of all that—that's a completely human construct.
Yep. Oh man, back to that object
that
permanence.
Doesn't exist.
We're back to looking for blocks.
If you want to get specific, all that's made up by us.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, time is a construct, man. That's why I'm always
things
late.
are.
Well, yes.
All right,
yes.
that
awesome.
Scene is a great scene. Yeah.
That's a great scene. I showed it because I told you like my family, like my parents were they're Young and the Restless folks.
Yeah.
I showed them that, and I was because they don't know this movie at all. I showed them that scene, and I was like, "See, do you recognize that guy?" And my dad was real fast on it. He's like, "Yo, it's Victor." Like it took my mom a little longer, but she hadn't watched it in forever. He watches it daily, so.
So, tonally, this is where we have another big shift. Where we because the apes are announced that they're basically going to get like a transfer to a hotel and get a day about town.
Yeah.
And the day about town is hysterical. I love all the clips of them shopping. Honestly, this made me immediately be like, I wish Dudley Moore was here.
Oh.
Arthur of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
They have to cross over with Dudley Moore. He's their drunken neighbor who they can't control.
I was thinking of like another ape that is played by Dudley Moore. Like an Arthur ape. That's
Arthur ape.
Oh my God. There'd be this like charming drunken ape. I would love it.
It'll be a fun time.
Oh, God.
Fun time. So yeah, tonally, this movie, at least the first half of it, is very different than the other Planet of the Apes movies. It's a completely different thing. This is almost
because I mean,
bordering on a comedy at times.
I think so, because it's really
It's like a fish out of water comedy.
It really is, and then you just have them, trying to kind of figure it out, and they're hanging on, and they're just, I don't know, like I love how Zira is just so along for the ride when everybody's amused by something. Yeah. She's just like, this is okay then.
Yeah,
we're doing this
now. She says goodbye to the telecast, and they look at her, and she's just kind of giggles like,
she's
having just fun.
They are just up for it, and it is like, that's awesome.
So this is all building up, and they have like two separate nights that they go on. Cornelius goes to see the fights, and he's not impressed.
Oh yeah.
And she goes and kind of visits like a women's book club, like a thing like that, and she kind of converts all these like moms to become feminists, which is kind of fun.
This was in the women's lib era, it was in the consciousness. So
this builds to her revealing that she is pregnant, and also accidentally revealing while taking a little bit of extra grape juice, as they call it.
Yep.
That the world was blown up in her timeline.
Yeah, because they did let slip in that first thing. She finally was just like, "Look, we know where we're from. We're from like
during the
your
Congress,
future.
Like she's like, we're from the future, fuckers."
Like
Cornelius is trying to dance around it because he doesn't want to have to like try to explain
he's like,
it to them.
dude,
we're already apes from a different world, and now it's like, we're also time travelers.
and then also like, and it doesn't really go well for humans technically, especially if you look at what my wife does for a living. So like,
so then he goes and talks to the president, and the president, like, this is where we talked about earlier, the president kind of handles it rather like well. He's not immediately like, oh, we got to kill them. He's like, all right, well, gather some more info, but from what you're telling me so far, like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, they haven't done anything.
Yeah, it's like, why would we just start killing? Like, first of all, everybody loves these damn apes. What are you thinking? Like, we can't just do that.
Yeah.
And, very pragmatic, very, very, I don't know, just cool-headed.
Yeah. For like a sci-fi kind of like, well, I guess especially with the more recent ones, you kind of known more as like a sci-fi action leaning series.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is, until the end of it, has virtually no action at all. It's predominantly just talking.
It is, and
which brought me. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no,
which brings me
right.
to my next point. In the background of this movie, we said that this was Kevin Smith's favorite movie of the 8 movies. It fucking shows.
I was about to say, this feels very, Kevin
Smith could have directed this 8 movie. It's a lot of just people in a room talking.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of just people in a room talking. It's a lot of that.
I would love to see like a Kevin Smith treatment of this kind of.
That would be fun.
It'd be a lot more talks about like, blowjobs and shit like that. But and smoking
especially
weed.
now that he's like kind of stopped with the whole like, I'm only doing so many more movies and then I'm done. It's like, all right, that's not true anymore. I don't believe you for a second anymore.
Yeah, right.
I might believe Tarantino with his, because he's more about like that filmography, that being really important to him.
Oh,
Kevin
right.
Smith did fucking cop out. I don't. I think your filmography is kind of a little tarnished going forward, no matter what you do here.
So.
So yeah, I would love to see Kevin Smith take and do like a hard remake of an Apes movie.
That would be
with
awesome.
just predominantly talking.
The dialogue would be so cool.
So yeah, the tone begins to shift again as the White House begins to gather more info by kind of aggressively interrogating the apes. Like I said, more talking in rooms. As the tension builds, and they eventually get Zira to basically, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. An all-white male caucus. I take that back. There's one person of color. A predominantly white male caucus decides that Zira must abort her baby.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
They decide basically, like, they haven't done anything wrong yet, so we can't do anything to them, but the baby is born on American soil, And because it's born on American soil, it represents a threat to our future. So therefore we decide the baby must be aborted. It was like, well, okay, this is taking some turns I was not expecting.
I will say I'm so glad that we've moved beyond predominantly white males making decisions about women's reproductive rights.
That's true. Right,
I'm glad
that's not at all a thing in 2025. A bunch of white males sitting in a room don't at all decide what women can or can't do with their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of white males sitting in a room also don't decide arbitrary lines about territories and disputes about where people are born and what represents birthplace rights and and sovereignty and things like that. Yeah, those aren't at all issues that we have in 2025.
We're
not
so
at all.
beyond.
We're advanced that. Yeah. This movie isn't at all good with that. It's like, I love that it basically just kind of sets up, and Cornelius says it as much before the meat of the movie. Basically, like, you guys kill yourselves, you dumb shits. Like, it's not us that kills you. You do it to yourselves.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. We do.
No.
That's what happens.
Right. And I mean,
so while they're in prison, they bring them some food to eat to basically, it's heavily implied the food is going to kill the baby.
Right.
Of course, they don't eat it.
Well, because at this point, didn't they already do the sodium pentothal thing or whatever, like the truth serum stuff?
Yeah. That was during the interrogation scenes where
that's
they kind
right.
of
And that's where they get all that stuff
her more and more
her,
aggressively. Yeah.
Like, she dissected humans. It's like
yes, she admits that she dissected humans, which they say it would be a crime if she was here today. And so they find Zira has committed crimes against humanity, and Cornelius they find has not. But this also leads to them saying the baby must be aborted. Basically,
I'm not trying to. I didn't mean it this way, but I'm going to say it just because I always say it. But it's bananas. That this is
this shit is bananas. BANANANS. So the poisoned food is brought to them, and Cornelius throws it into the person's face and accidentally kills him by accident.
Well, because he uses that word, monkey.
Yes.
And
so
apes.
They run away, and this is where the movie kind of begins. The falling action of this movie, to borrow a technical term, is a little... just a lot of shit happens all of a sudden.
Yes.
But basically, they escape, and then Cornelius is like, okay, we're not going to get very far because we don't know where the hell we are, so we need to get some help. So he goes back and gets help, which leads them to going and getting the assistance of a traveling circus keeper played by Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, yeah.
And he introduces them to his circus, which is where they get a little bit of safety for a little while. The plan is for them to be there until they can eventually go to Florida, where they will be released into the Everglades, which is kind of funny in 2025.
Yeah.
There you go.
For real. That's not... Florida Everglades, not a place of freedom right now.
Not a place where people... I believe it has a new name, as the Floridians call it.
Which is also a misnomer.
Yeah.
It's the wrong A word. It's the wrong A... I think it needs to be a little bit more concentrated if you're going to name it, if you get where I'm going with that.
Yeah, well, let's just talk. Let's just say it is. We're talking about Alligator Alcatraz, and yes, it's a concentration camp that America has installed in Florida because
Alcatraz is the wrong name. It should be Auschwitz.
It should be Auschwitz. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a piece of shit thing that we're doing, and it's not the first time America's done it in the history of our country. I feel like it's the history of we've done this several times before. We just don't like to talk about it. Oh, there you go. This is why I can't be a history
eventually,
because I'll just tell the truth and I'll be like,
I was about to say, eventually we won't be allowed to talk about it. So, posterity, I guess.
Well, fun thing about history is everyone can just keep kind of shouting theirs until someone hears them.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do. Let's get back to the history of this movie, because it does have some strong parallels and some crossovers to 2025. It's interesting that this happened. The little guy from Young and the Restless, as we talked about, he eventually extends the search area to include these traveling circuses and such. And so this makes them have to move again. And so the second time they moved to an old abandoned oil tanker.
And in this time, she has given birth to...
Yes, Milo is now here, yes.
Yes.
And she names him after the fallen Dr. Milo from the beginning of the movie that was played by Saul Mino,
Good call. I appreciated that.
Which also has a parallel to the first one as well, when Heston lands and one of the astronauts is also killed.
Yep.
So kind of going back to there. And the second one, Skipper, dies as well.
Oh,
so
yep.
we always have to have one astronaut die whenever this movie's happen.
Yep.
So eventually this plan does not work out exactly. Some time passes, but eventually the government finds ape sign, the likes of which they've never seen before. And so this... Thank you. Gotta squeeze a Dune reference in where I can.
Oh, I love it.
And so the government dicks, they kind of eventually find the apes at this place. And this is where we get the big shootout scene.
Yeah.
Where, kind of like the first one, where it ends in a big shootout, except unlike the first one, it's a lot sadder.
Oh, it's
a lot sadder. So, Zira gets cornered as Cornelius goes out looking for a place where they can feed the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And once she is cornered, she runs for safety and gets cornered again and then takes off and eventually gets shot by the evil, young, and restless friend. While this is happening, Cornelius had borrowed a gun earlier in case they got captured, to kill themselves. Very Romeo and Juliet type thing. And so he sees his wife Zira killed, and he shoots the guy and kills him, but also gets shot himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zira, seeing her husband dead, takes the baby and throws it into the ocean so it can drown.
Yeah.
And then goes and crawls on top of her husband and dies with him. And that is the end of Cornelius and Zira. That is their story wrapped up now. Because Roddy will appear in the next movie, but in a different character.
That's right.
Yeah, he takes on the role of Caesar, which, speaking of which, so you might be like, okay, well, how does this movie sequel bait? Because we said in the background, this is the only one of them that really strongly sequel baits. Mm-hmm. And it does that because early before they left to go to the oil tanker, Zira requested a moment with the primitive gorilla in the cage that had also given birth to a baby recently. And this leads to the old Cincinnati switcheroo.
Thank you. Are you talking about CINNIT? I don't know. I'm doing the thing from Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves. But they're singing a song. They start out by singing a song about Cincinnati. I'll never forget it.
Cincinnati's a fun place. I went there one time. It is surprisingly pretty. Yeah, Cincinnati's nice. I like Cincinnati. She pulls the old Cincinnati switcheroo and switches her baby, the intelligent ape, with this primitive ape. So, and I believe it's implied by the end of it that Ricardo Montalban obviously knows this.
Yes.
As he is talking to the ape at the end and kind of, signifies that he kind of knows that the switcheroo happens.
Yeah. And
so the ape that she kills is not the ape that has the super intelligent ape that they're all worried about.
Right. Well, because they end the movie with it saying "Mama," right?
Yes. The ape speaks and says "Mama" by the end of it. Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. Which sets up the next movie, which will then contradict a lot of what we just saw here. So there you go.
And make so little sense comparatively because, wait, what?
Yeah. The next one we'll talk about next week, and that's a fun one because not only is it my favorite of the Apes movies, but it's also the one that takes the series in a completely different direction. Yes. And for some reason, it's the one that the basically works as a direct continuation of the current Apes movies we have now. So,
absolutely,
it's kind of a weird one to focus on. You would think whenever they were like, "Well, we're going to revamp the Apes movies. Which one should we use as our launching pad?" And someone was like, "The fourth one." It's like, "All right, there we go." For context, that'd be like if I was like, I'm going to revamp the Halloween series, but I'm starting with Halloween 6. Everything before then didn't happen. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, final thoughts about this movie and any takeaways to our modern wastelands, and then we'll skadoodle on out of here.
Yeah. Well, I would say my thoughts on this movie, I really, really like this one. I like how the tone completely different. I like how it kind of, I don't know, it almost lures you in to like this comfortable setting and it seems very optimistic, but it's just it only takes one guy to just sow the seeds of doubt. Ain't that the truth? And cause problems for the whole thing, and just completely, like, I don't know, butcher completely innocent. Like, come on.
It's true.
It's insane. But, it's a very heartfelt movie, but it also is very crushing at the end. Like, well, my God, what a tragic end.
Yeah, it's got a very sad ending.
Yeah, because, for the past 3 movies,
yeah, you got to know these two.
Love these characters, and then, bam.
They're dead.
So, that sucks. But, I mean, that really hits hard, the tragedy of it. And I would say takeaway, oh God. Watch out for Grape Juice Plus, apparently. Because if you got shit to hide, you don't drink.
Yeah, my big feelings and takeaway. I like this movie. Like I said, it's not my favorite of the initial Apes movies, but it is my second of the Apes ones that I really enjoy as my favorite. I really think it has some strong parallels to 2025 that I wasn't expecting to watch it in this context, which is kind of funny. That each of these movies, or at least the first one notwithstanding, but the second and third one now have both had like strong parallels to what's happening in our current world, which is weird. That these movies made in the early 70s are kind of have a timeliness here in 2025. Big takeaway is that, don't trust the government, man. Never trust the government. Listen to Rage Against the Machine more often. And then, don't down with the government, I guess, because that's what we see in this movie. The government is out to fuck with you, whether you want them to or not. Mm-hmm. So we will see y'all next time as we take our own fight against the government. And, we'll take a little break and see you next time. Bye.
Yeah, take it easy.
Hot damn, college boy. Thank you so much for listening. Every single week we come back with a new movie about the end of the world, or a movie about the beginning of the end of the world, or what happens after the end of the world, or maybe one day we just decide to watch Showgirls. Who knows? Right? But every week we are coming back, and thank you so much for stopping in this week and listening to the whole episode and hearing our thoughts on whatever train wreck of a movie I chose to force my friend to watch this week. I'm a good person like that. And thank you for also being a good person. There you go. If you want to be a really, really fucking cool person, which you obviously are, why don't you give us a like, and actually, more importantly, give us a subscribe. I find that to be more important. I don't know if the algorithm says it is. I don't really give a shit. But thank you for your patronage either way, and clicking all the things and doing all the stuff. Bye. Thanks.